Here's the 5 mistakes most women make when it comes to getting in shape. And I'm not just talking getting in shape, quick fix. I'm talking long term, getting the body that you want, feeling good, looking good, and keeping it. Let's get into it. But before we do, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of my videos. So, the first mistake many women make is going between undereating and overeating. So, you may be trying to diet and thinking you have to reduce your calories, you have to watch what you're eating, maybe you're cutting food groups out, and you're undereating. And it's not just even being in a calorie deficit, you're actively massively undereating. And what happens if you significantly undereat is that you are going to overeat at a certain point, because you can only white knuckle it for so long. And this is the fundamental problem, is there is this constant yo-yo between undereating and then not being able to take it anymore and significantly overeating. And if you're somebody that thinks, I don't eat very much, I'm only eating this, this and this, why am I not losing weight? If you look at what your eating habits are throughout the week, maybe you are only eating X, Y, and Z during the week, but it gets to Friday night, you are raiding the cupboards thinking, what else can I eat? Then this is you, because you cannot sustain it long term. At the peak of my diet, I was eating 1,300 calories a day, and I stuck to it. I stuck to it so rigidly because I also knew there was an end point. I also knew that this photo shoot was coming. And I knew that as soon as I'd done the photo shoot, I was going to be able to have a little binge. And this is the problem, is when you significantly undereat, you can either do it for a short period of time, or because you know there's going to be an occasion where you're going to be able to overeat. And this constant flux is what is the problem. Many women will go between undereating and overeating. The second mistake many women make is to do with their training. And it's not understanding how hard you actually need to train to make the changes required to get the body that you want. If you're used to going to classes, if you're used to doing cardio, as soon as you step in the weights area, it is a very different ball game. You can no longer just cruise through. You can no longer just focus on what your calorie burn is, how much you're sweating, how tired you feel. You actively have to think, am I working hard enough here? And there is something called reps in reserve. And what we're wanting to do when we're training with weights is we're wanting to work as close to failure as possible between 1 and 3 reps. Not every single set, not every single session that you're you can't physically do anymore, but you're wanting to be in that 1 to 3 reps in reserve. And what that means is that you physically couldn't do any more than 3 reps if you were forced to, without your form significantly failing, without you failing the lift. So if you're going in the gym and you're doing, maybe it's a goblet squat, maybe it's a bench press, I think it's sometimes more obvious in upper body movements because our form, we physically can't lift it anymore. But if you're just stopping because you get to 10 reps or 12 reps or 15 reps, you're not actually stopping because you're close to failure. You're just stopping because you're hitting that top end of the rep of what you think you need to be lifting. Actively think about when you're next in the gym, could I physically do any more reps? Try it out. Maybe you normally stop at 10 reps. Do another couple of reps. Do another 10 reps. See where your limit is. Start to understand what your body is actually capable of. Because it's only when you start pushing yourself that you will make the changes required to see the body that you want. The third mistake that many women make, this all or nothing perfectionist mindset. It's like an all-encompassing mistake because it covers different areas. So it might show up in the sense of, I'll start Monday. I've messed up my diet, I'll start again tomorrow. Oh, I can't go to the gym today, I may as well sack it off for the rest of the week. You're constantly kicking the can down the road. You're constantly micro quitting. And so you're never going to make the progress that you want. You're never going to get the results that you want because you're always negotiating with yourself. What's actually required is pushing on regardless. It's doing whatever you can under the circumstances. You might have a busy week. You might not be able to do everything that you normally want to do. What can you do? What are your non-negotiables? Your minimal effective dose, the basics that you're going to do week in, week out, regardless of what's going on. Establish those first. And then if you're having a great week, maybe you're feeling good hormonally, maybe it's a little bit quieter at work, maybe you've got more energy, you've had more sleep, whatever's going on that you can actually push on a bit further, you can do a bit more, great. But have the standard for what your non-negotiables are and stick with those consistently. Stop flip-flopping between, if I can't do it perfectly, I can't do it at all. And then going all in as soon as it's something good. Okay, I'm just going to throw everything at it and try and make up for all this lost time. That's why you're never seeing the results, because you're flitting between the two. Number 4, there's a lack of patience. If you're somebody that's thinking, how can I get these results the quickest? What's the answer to rapid fat loss? You're looking at 8-week shreds, you're looking at whatever the next quick fix is. This is for you. That's a mistake because you're not understanding that it's a longer term process, that it's something that you're going to need to do day in, day out. You don't just complete fitness and then you're done. You don't just do something and then you can stop doing it and I've got the body I want, I've got the life I want, great. Whatever you start doing, you're going to need to continue. So if you're looking for quick fixes, you're trying to solve a problem that is going to continue to repeat itself. So instead, try and have some patience with the process. Maybe your weight's not going down as quickly as you'd like. Is it still going down as a general trend? Maybe sometimes you're struggling to hit your calories. Can you hit them generally, overall? Maybe your steps are a little bit all over the place. But on average, are you hitting the targets that you need to hit? Stop trying to rush and have some patience with the process and know that if you continue to just chip away, you're going to be further along and make more progress long term than if you just try and hammer everything for the next 8 weeks and then what? And the 5th mistake many women make is they're then looking for the next thing. This doesn't work for me. What's next? What else can I try? What else can I do? Whether it's another method, another exercise program, another diet. What more can I do? What more can I add in? How hard can I work? How much more do I need to push myself? What other food groups do I need to cut out? How much more do I need to restrict? You're constantly looking for the next thing. So you're not present in what you're currently doing. You're not giving what you're doing enough time. And it goes back to the point about patience. You're not giving it enough time to actually work. And all of these 5 mistakes, so your undereating, overeating, your lack of training intensity, your all or nothing perfectionist mindset, your lack of patience and constantly looking for the next thing, they all boil down to the same thing. You struggle with consistency. So what you actually need to do is strip it all back, go back to the basics. What exercise do I need to do consistently? 2 to 3 days a week. 30 to 60 minutes. You need to walk more, 10 to 15,000 steps a day. You need to eat whole foods, nutritious foods, 80 to 90% of the time. The other 10 to 20%, eat what you like. And you need to do that consistently. And if you do that, you will get results. But consistency is the biggest problem. It covers all of these other 5 points as to why you're not where you want to be. So that is your starting point. How can I be more consistent? I hope this video is helpful. Please like, subscribe, and drop me a comment to let me know.